Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, November 10th. Thank you so much for joining into our weekly PPACA webinars. It's still amazing to me how long we've been running these. It's now over 3 years, and each week we have something new to talk about, and this week is definitely no exception. So let's get right into the agenda. For those of you that are new to the format, my name is Deb Wilkinson, and I'm the Vice President of the Health Plan Options Department here at URL. I am responsible for overseeing the daily workings and marketing of the individual and group health divisions within URL. If you, again, are new to the format, we do treat this as an open forum where you can get your questions answered, and you can ask those questions in one of two ways, either by raising your hand icon on the control panel to the right of your screen. If you want to just test out the hand icon and let me know if you can see my screen or not, I'd appreciate it. Excellent. And you can also type in questions in the question box, and I'll answer those at the end of the webinar. You can see as well that today I included the Pennsylvania Insurance Department complaint form as a handout for your clients if you do need to have your clients lodge a complaint, or if your clients want to lodge a complaint, they can use that form, or they can just go on the website and do it online. And I also included the PowerPoint from yesterday's PAHU webinar, and that is the first agenda item. So let's get right into that. We did have a webinar yesterday. PAHU sponsored it. Vince Phillips, our state lobbyist, was presenting the information, and Damian Mochin, who is our president-elect for PAHU, also talked a little bit on the webinar. It was recorded. If you registered, the link is going to go out to you automatically, but again, the PowerPoint is there. Our position is that the Pennsylvania Insurance Department, this is URL's position. The Pennsylvania Insurance Department said, no, you can't charge fees for individual health insurance, and that is our official position. There is, some gray area, and this is not a legal advice at all, but if you feel that you can operate within some of those gray areas, and some of them are outlined in the PowerPoint, then certainly you should check out your legal team or your attorney. Make sure that it's something that you can do or you feel comfortable doing. And again, you have to do what you have to do. No harm, no foul here. If you decide to move forward with that, then that's certainly up to you, and I wish you nothing but luck, obviously, and hopefully some riches as well. So again, take a look at the webinar, and if you have any questions, Vince's number is in there, and you might want to talk in more depth with him. Short-term coverage limitations. We did mention this last week, but I just want to mention it again because it is a bit confusing. So the law has changed with short-term medical insurance, and what that means is that any short-term policy sold after April 1st of 2017 cannot be longer than 90 days in duration. So what this says to me is January through March 31st, there are products out there, or will be products out there, that run 365 days. So if you sell somebody in March for 365 days, you have coverage throughout the year. There is one caveat with the new law, and that is if you do sell a policy for 365 days and those 365 days take you past 12/31 of 17, the plan has to terminate. So bottom line, anything sold after 4/1 of 17 cannot be longer than 90 days in duration, and anything sold prior to that that runs after 12/31 of 17 would have to terminate as of 12/31 of 17. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. Of course, if you have any questions, just give me a call. We talked about this as well. The plans that are discontinued, it is a loss of coverage, so they get 60 days from that. So there is an extension for those folks that had discontinued plans instead of 12/15 cutoff for a 1/1 effective date on the individual marketplace, on or off marketplace, they can go to 12/31 for a 1/1 effective date. There is talk about the extension, pardon me, to 3/1 for those that were discontinued as well. But again, who knows? Things are going to change, obviously, with the new administration coming into the office in January. One of the changes that we're looking at is, some folks out there, because of the pricing, are looking at alternates. They're looking at alternate coverage, knowing that the tax penalty would still have to be paid. Some of those options, short-term, of course, gap plans, and limited medical plans. So Christy Saul, my counterpart in the Health Plan Options Department, she oversees the specialty line. She is planning a webinar for Manhattan Life, and that's coming soon. We don't have the date yet, but it's going to be within the next several weeks. So watch for that information. I do think that based on the questions that I'm getting, and I'm sure you're getting as well, that it is something to take a look at now, whereas maybe before it wasn't. Next bullet point, Independence Blue Cross Commission Change. So I'm not sure if everyone saw the announcement. It is in my newsletter today. And what Independence came out and said is originally they were going to pay for off-marketplace for 2 plans only, and that was the HMO Silver Proactive Value and the HMO Bronze. So those 2 products are going to pay off-marketplace for new business. And what they had their hands smacked, and they said, according to the law, you can't pay commissions for off-marketplace if you're not paying for on. So of course they decided that they're not paying any commissions on new business. So they will continue to pay on renewal as originally announced, but those 2 plans for off-marketplace compensation for new to Blue, they have removed that provision, and any new to Blue independent Blue Cross individuals and families are non-commissionable now, renewals only. So again, hope that makes sense. If you have questions on that, let me know. I want to draw your attention to our website because we do have some tools out there for you to use. You know, with URL taking a step back in individual health, I know that a lot of you out there are feeling kind of abandoned and left to your own devices, and that's just not true. We are here to help you, but we're here to help you in a financially responsible way, so that we're not doing work as we have done for the last several years without pay, just as you are. You know, we don't have the ability or the system to set up for charging fees, and we don't intend to compete with you in that way. So again, fees, if you want to do that, that's great, but that doesn't change the fact that we're not getting paid for this business either. So again, I wanted to provide all of the tools that I could to make your jobs easier. You saw my consumer flyer that you can put on your site or email out or send to your clients that gives them all of the information on all the carriers in Pennsylvania, direct stores, etc., so they can go and get coverage, contact people if they want, and then also information on how to do business if you're an agent partner of URL. One of the things that we put in, if you go to our website, URL insgroup.com, go down to Health Plan Options, I'll show you, first of all, the FFM resources. So this is a segment for individual and shop that I think you can use in your everyday life, how to assist clients with individual health. That's our flyer. The FFM application, the 2017 application, is now there for individuals and families. Here's the quoting tool. All of the information that you would need, the hardship exemption form, privacy notices, household income and household size guidelines. So again, these are all tools that we think are helpful to you, and obviously the shop resources as well, how to do your shop renewal and enrollment videos, all of the things that you need. So you can get to the FFM quoting tool here, or you can just go, again, departments, health plan options, and quoting tools. So I'm just going to take you through this way, quoting tools. And this is a health marketplace quoting portal. We don't have an off-marketplace quoting portal anymore. We discontinued our relationship with IBX as of 11/1, because if you recall last year, the rates weren't even loaded until mid-December. So it was essentially useless for us during the time when we needed it. And because of our position with individual health, we canceled it because it was an expense that we didn't need to incur. So better than nothing, we put our marketplace quoting portal out there, and this is, again, only on marketplace. You can use the quoting tool as much as you want, but you do not hit enroll now because it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to do an uptake information sheet. So the quoting portal is simple to use. I'm not going to go through all of it, but you can see if you put in a zip code, put in any of this information, mail, tobacco, non-tobacco, next. And it's spinning. You can do medical. I would not quote any of these supplemental things. That's through Morgan White. And you have a subsidy calculator if you choose to do that, number of people in household, income, number of people taking application is based on what you put in to begin with. Next, and then you should, hopefully if it spins quickly, then you'll have all 6 of the plans available in 17111. So again, we're putting it out there, hopefully that it's something that you can use and it's going to make your life easier. So let's get back to the webinar. We talked about Manhattan Life, the FFM resources, and the quoting tool. The election. So let's talk about Trump's plans for ACA, President-elect Trump's plans, excuse me. So this is in my newsletter as well. Mr. Trump plans on doing a lot of things that I, quite frankly, just kind of blew off prior to his win on Tuesday, because I thought there's just no way. There's no way that he's going to win, first of all, and there's no way that anyone getting in there could repeal and replace. I've changed my opinion. They can repeal and replace. They have, of course, we have a House, a Republican-led House, majority House, and Senate. So it is possible that it's not going to get bogged down. So his plan first is to repeal Obamacare completely, modify the existing laws so you can purchase across state lines, fully deduct health insurance premium payments from their tax returns. Small businesses do it, large businesses do it. They think individuals should as well. Allow individuals to use health savings accounts tax-free. Of course, that's something that most everyone in the health insurance industry agrees with, and there are very few of them being offered this year. We're taking serious steps backwards in health plan or health savings accounts offering. Price transparency from all healthcare providers. Obviously, this is a big portion of how health savings accounts work best if you have this transparency. Block grant Medicaid to the states. So with the block grants, they feel that states can better develop and monitor their Medicaid enrollment based on needs specific to each person's or each state in our country. So many of you, if you recall, Governor Corbett, when the law was signed, had a Healthy PA Medicaid plan. That we had the traditional Medicaid and then the Healthy PA. The Healthy PA was using those Medicaid dollars to purchase marketplace insurance the same as everybody else, the same deductibles, the same co-insurance, all of that. So again, that is a possibility. When Governor Wolf came in, that was quickly put to bed and terminated. But again, it is something to think about how we can really overhaul the Medicaid system, where we're going to see the biggest savings for everyone, for state and federal budgets. And then this is a big one, remove barriers to entry into free markets for drug providers. So I think that's certainly something to look at as well. You know, again, going way back, McCain, this was part of his deal that he wanted to allow states to, or the country to purchase medications outside of the country if they were more competitive. But that was quickly squashed down, and then the Big Pharma gave $80 billion to sponsor the law, and since then you can see the prices ticking up. So again, I will get off my soapbox right now. But again, information on Trump's plans, and that's in my newsletter. And next, SII Seminar. We talked about this. There is a seminar on November 16th. It is here a URL. It is offering CE credits, and it's on topics that I think are very important to all of us. We're all getting older, and it's run by Mass Mutual. The one topic is on sales ideas, but the other is on business succession planning. So again, I think it's timely. It's something that all of us need to consider, and the link for registration is on our website. So if you have an interest in registering, please go to our website and go ahead and register. There is still room. My last bullet point before we turn it open or get it open for questions is to watch for groups that dissolved early, you know, in 14, to be re-engaged with groups. I'm working on a project now, and it's going to be coming out soon, but what I'm doing is comparing individual rates from this year to individual rates for 17 compared to group rates for the same you know, 4 or 5 folks, and shop rates. And surprisingly enough, the individual rates are higher than the group rates. So for the same reasons that these groups dissolved, I'd say that it's a perfectly good reason to start looking at those groups that dissolved and getting them back into the group model. And a lot of advantages. If they're saving money, that's a huge advantage. And the second huge advantage is that the employer can write off the group health insurance premiums as a tax write-off, whereas on the individual side, the most an employer can do is bump up pay and incur additional payroll taxes. So, you know, a new opportunity maybe for some of you, but go out and see what you can do with these groups. That's my advice for today, such as it is. So that's it. We're going to open it up for questions. We will have a webinar next Thursday, as usual, 9:30, and hopefully you all can join in as well. So lots of questions today. Dave says, where do we find the 365-day policies? Are they online or do they pay commissions? Well, there are some. National General, formerly Assurant, has an 11-month policy. IHC, I think United has a 365-day policy. Get them while you can because they will change. Let's see. Frank says, is CMS aware that carriers are not paying any broker commissions for the new individual business in 17? They keep sending emails to build your business in 17. Who is going to do that without getting paid? They need to know consumers have no help when shopping limited offerings in 17. And Frank says he's seen no articles regarding this. This should be brought to the consumer's attention in the media. Frank, I absolutely agree. There are some articles out there. There was just one from somebody in Tennessee. I can tell you that myself personally, we've been in touch more than one time with the Pennsylvania Insurance Commissioner. We met face-to-face with the Commissioner just 2 weeks ago, actually, and brought this very same topic up again. I had brought it up at the beginning of the year as well, because obviously as commissions got smaller and products got more complicated and the process got more complicated, many of the agent partners that I worked with that were happy to do business in the individual market started dropping out, obviously. I mean, it's something all of us have to consider, of course. So my message to them was, you know, these consumers are going to be left with the advice of the marketplace workers or the direct stores or carrier reps, and they're not getting good advice from these folks. And I'm sorry, if anybody is a carrier rep on the line, I'm sorry to say that, but it's true for the most part. And the most I can do, Frank, is say that we've brought that message, and we also, a few of us, left messages for the Donald Trump campaign. I wrote on his Facebook a message to him. I mean, there's a lot of things that we're all trying to do, but the insurance department is definitely aware of it and the struggles, but I'm not sure that it matters. Jay says, the question of the short-term medical is in PA, will 90-day duration be permissible? I ask because I've been told by an insurance company that provides such a product that some states and insurance departments do not recognize coverage, but for only one 90-day period in a calendar year. Where does PA stand on this time frame? Jay, I don't know. I'm sure that as we get okay. Oh, we're good? Okay, I'm back on. Sorry about that, guys. I have no idea what happened. So the 90-day policy, Jay, I don't know. It appears to me that all the carriers are doing this, but I will check on that and get back to you. Dave asked, could the tax penalty be eliminated by President Trump's executive order? I don't know. I'm not sure if it can be done through executive order, David. I know that is part of his plan in eliminating that individual tax penalty. I'm hoping that he also looks at the employer mandate and the 30-hour rule and the ACA monitoring for the 1095s, 1094s, all of those labor-intensive things that cost businesses extra money. And Dave says, what's the deadline to get Marketplace certified to retain renewal commissions? You should do it ASAP, David. It has to be done before the policy is effectuated. So I wouldn't waste any time. Do it now. And Britt says, probably cannot repeal, not enough votes to fight off filibuster. I agree with that, Britt, but there is talk of using the budget reconciliation to do it, to accomplish the repeal, so we'll see. And Bill's talking about the 60 votes as well. Sean asks about what company has a 365-day short-term medical policy. There are a few out there. United, I know, had one. National General has an 11-month. But if you're curious, you can go to our website or you can ask Judy Reed. She is our resident guru on short-term medical. I'm sure she's out there saying, stop it, Deb, stop it. Tim asks, other than Lebanon County, which Highmark, Geisinger, or capital plans can be used with HSA accounts? I don't know, Tim. I would have to look at every single I'd have to look at every single county. There are some HSA plans out there, but they're few and far between. And Pam asks, are the rates out for 1/1 for individuals on the individual carrier sites? They are indeed, Pam, and the only carrier we're still waiting for paper rates is Cap Blue Cross. We just got the brochure yesterday, so that's going to be on our site and in the newsletter. And I don't believe we have Geisinger paper rates either yet. And Jay says that the message about the commissions and the brokers, he's also brought that to the attention of the insurance department. Kelly asks about Capital's fancy schmancy brochure. I love your language, Kelly. And yes, it was just released yesterday, so it's in my newsletter. Mike says repealing Obamacare would leave us in a bigger quandary with uninsurable folks paying not only 60% increases, but 160% plus increase every year. Medicare for all with high deductibles and allow us to purchase supplemental policies. I agree. There's a lot of things that still have to be hammered out, but I don't think pre-existing will go away even with a repeal. So I think that wouldn't be tolerated by the American people, and so who knows? I can tell you that this law is not working. It's blown up in 4 short years, so it's worth trying something else. Britt wants to know if individual will go back to medical underwriting. I don't know that, Britt. There's nothing in President-elect Trump's plans that say that. I would doubt that it wouldn't be guaranteed issue still, but it would be interesting to explore what could happen if they went back to at least quasi-medical underwriting. And Barb wants to know why the rates approved are higher than applied for. And Barb, I know that it's confusing, and it's still confusing to me, but the information we were given from the commissioner is that when the carriers filed the rates, they filed them for what they thought they would need. And then the carriers started pulling out, Aetna, United Healthcare. So the landscape of the offerings for Pennsylvania citizens was limited. What the insurance commissioner said is that they were concerned and had been told that some of the other carriers, the carriers with blue, threatened to pull out as well. Pardon me. So her idea was to try to keep products within the state that people can choose from, and if that took increasing the premiums to get them maybe profitable or stopping the bleeding of losing money more quickly, then that's what she did. She said, we're going to raise the rates higher because we feel that they need these rates for many reasons. And next year she said that probably a modest increase would only be approved. So that's the reasoning she gave us, just market and you know, keeping PA carriers in the market. There is more information on the Pennsylvania Insurance Department site as well. So if you have questions about that, you might want to go there as well. Pardon me. So that's it. That's all the questions we have today. Again, next week, the 17th, we'll be back here at 9:30. And as always, I truly appreciate you all joining in and your questions and you know, your business that you do choose to do through URL. And we thank you for that. I hope you all have a great day, and it's sunny outside, so get out and enjoy the nice crisp fall weather, and I wish you a great weekend as well. Bye-bye.